The latest episode of The Mandalorian is okay. Chapter 19 of The Mandalorian Season 3 started off with a bang where you get to really have Bo-Katan, Mando kind of just going over what just happened with seeing the great mythosaur, which was freaking awesome. And I'm telling you guys, Mando is going to ride that by the end of the season. It's been building up to it.
Do you have a land speeder or speeder bike that I could hire?
You are a Mandalorian. Your ancestors rode the great mythosaur.
You see some random interceptors come flying in, which it looks like this might be either Snoke or Thrawn, which if it's Thrawn, I think all of us are going to freak out. But if it's Snoke, which it probably seems to be as everything in the episode is kind of tying into the First Order, that will be not as exciting. The dogfight in Chapter 19 was awesome. Getting to see Mando jump into his starfighter and seeing Bo-Katan do some amazing maneuvers in her ship was just awesome. It was great to see both of these Mandalorians just really going out, kicking butt, taking names. That's what we were really wanting to see this episode, and we only got that at the beginning and at the very end. In the middle, we had what I call a crap sandwich. Yes, it was great for lore. It was cool for story building. But really, I think the failing of this episode is not staying with the main characters, the things that people are interested in. We're not interested in learning about the Republic and the failings of the Republic. We know it failed because that's why the First Order came up. What we want to see is more Mandalorian history, more Mandalorian story. That's what we really want to. Instead, we got Dr. Pershing going over the Clone Wars, going over how a lot of the reintegration was treated with the Empire, which is really interesting, adds a lot of great lore, adds a lot of backstory, shows the failing of the Republic. But in the end, it's not something that really held my attention. It's not something that was super compelling. Maybe it was just for world building, and I get it. Some episodes are just for world building, but I felt like it lingered too long on Dr. Pershing. And yes, we know that the Republic didn't want to use clone technology and how he felt kind of outcast, and that was really his kind of MO. But the most interesting thing for me is how we still may have Moff Gideon kind of at works within the Republic. And the Mind Flare. Guys, this is super interesting that they used the Mind Flare to basically erase his memory and kind of what you're seeing in the New Republic, control people's minds and thoughts. Could this be what the First Order uses for its stormtroopers? We know there was some type of mind control, mind erasing type technology used that we see in the sequels. So I'm wondering if there's some kind of connection to that as well, where they're going to bring in something to do with the mind flares, and that's how they can really brainwash all of these troopers. And then we finally get the good part at the end. Mando goes back to the Mandalorian's home base, and he has Bo-Katan with her, and they both have been bathed in the living waters. So technically Bo-Katan is redeemed, and so is Mando. And when they go to see the armorer, she explains that to him, that they're both redeemed. And what's interesting is seeing how she is welcomed right back into the fold. And what could this mean for her? What could this mean for Mando? Could they see that he has the Darksaber now and then just start following him? This is going to be very interesting to watch. I hope on the next episode they focus more on Din and Bo-Katan's relationship with the Darksaber, and that Bo-Katan talks to him about the great mythosaur that he saw. I think in the end they're going to go to Navarro and they're going to be fighting these pirates and all going to rally behind Din and Bo-Katan. And in the end they're going to go back to Mandalore, and Din is going to show them how it's not cursed, and they begin to clean out and kind of take back over. And I think either the Empire or Thrawn's going to come in, and the only thing that's going to stop them is the great mythosaur and Din Djarin riding on its back. I hope that's what we get to see. We'll see. I hope we get an introduction to Thrawn, or maybe Ahsoka in the show. Maybe there's even talk about build up with the Bad Batch, that there may be something to do with the cloning facilities that we're seeing. Maybe we're going to see a clone Luke. I don't know, there's a lot of possibilities, but I hope what they do in these next few episodes is stay true to the Mandalorian story of Din Djarin and Bo-Katan. It's really great to see the stuff in the Republic. It's really great to see Coruscant. It was beautiful. What we're all interested in, at least what I'm interested in, is the Mandalorian and the Mandalorian history. That's my review, guys. I hope you enjoy it. Remember, when in doubt, blow it up.